The second thing is we need to start thinking about, like, when certain parts of life don't go right, and then we start to fixate on it. All of our energy is being consumed by what is going wrong, what's actually going wrong. And then, as much as you think you're trying to problem solve in that moment, you're stuck in a pattern. You're stuck in a pattern where your system is in fight or flight and it's going, holy crap. We've got our backs against the wall. And instead of trying to be logical in the moment, you're going to do what you've always done and most likely end up in the same cycle until you learn how to break out of that cycle. Until you can learn to harness that power from within. Unless you learn how to cultivate that internal safety for yourself. Your savings are not your salvation. When money is flowing, do you even think about the amount in your savings? And actually, you might be someone who does. You might be someone who thinks about, is my savings going up? And that, I would say, is probably more of an anxious attachment to money. But in general, when life is going good, when money is flowing, we generally don't care as much about money going up, our savings going up. And yet we make it mean everything when money is not flowing as well. We start to look at the number in our bank account and go, why, and we start to pick it apart and go, why is it here? And then you start to make stories, if I just spent less on this, it would be at this point. And then we start to, I know you do it, we start to create those bar graphs, or we start to calculate maths in our head and go, how much could I have saved if I didn't eat takeout, if I didn't go get that Chinese takeout all of those days for the past few months, right? But that's because when things disrupt our norm, that really gets to test us on how empowered we are by ourselves. How empowered we are by ourselves, right? What is the trust? Where does your trust lie? Because during those times, instead of focusing on the truth and staying objective and looking at things and going, what is the truth here? And maybe the truth is that you can actually make money really easily, and you've always made it work. You start to look at the evidence and you just start to shift the energy, right? Everything is energy. Everything is energy. Your emotions produce a certain energy in your body, and that is externalized because that affects how we interact with other people. You still think that your internal world does not affect your external world. That's a lie. The energy that we are investing in, and whether that is physical energy or the energy we choose to be around, needs to come from a place of integrity and what is actually in alignment to our values and to our beliefs. If you've never made $1 million and you're telling yourself, I'm going to make $1 million, that's probably not going to make you feel any better about your situation. If you're in a money pickle, there's no point affirming to yourself, I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to make $1 million. Your job in the moment is go, I've made $1 before, I know how to do that. And start to make yourself feel good about the money. Because then what happens as well when we have trouble with money is we start to demonize the money, and we go, oh, if only society doesn't rely on money, then I wouldn't be in this situation. Or if only this and that. And we start to create stories and we start to embed it in our nervous system. And so that even if we did encounter a large sum of money, it would make us feel really unsafe and probably send us into a bit of a spiral, a different kind of spiral. The feelings of this isn't enough or not feeling adequate don't just go away because you've made more money. There are millionaires, billionaires, 100 millionaires who wake up every day and are scared to lose everything that they have because their power is not in them. Their power is in something else, the money that they're making. But the money is just a representation of your power, of the value that you bring. And once you can actually start to realize that value, not just in your head, not just go, yeah, I'm valuable, but realize it, to make it real, to give it to other people, to present it to other people. Once you realize it, that's where the exchange happens. And that's what you need to be focusing on, right? In business, when times are tough and when money's not flowing, I doubt the first thought that most business owners have is, how can I serve my people better? How can I make even just the one client that I have feel more special today? How can I make them feel so loved on? How can I go above and beyond for this one client or for this few clients that I have in a downturn? Right? We don't go and look at the other areas in business, and that's a shame, because money and the financial department is only one area of business. There's your marketing, there's your sales, there's your customer experience, there's all these other, there's your leadership team, right? There are all of these other departments that we start to then neglect leadership of ourselves. We start to neglect the marketing activities because now we're afraid to show up because we're scared that people will sense the neediness of us. But that neediness is only there because we create the stories that we need the money. No, you need to believe in yourself. Those stories are only there because we put them there. We allow them to be there. It's a choice that we've made to believe that we need money over needing to believe that we will be all right no matter what. Everything is a choice. And all of these departments in business, they all take a backseat because then we start to fixate on the money. Right? So then we start to put blocks in these other departments. Our customers don't feel as happy. Right? And our potential customers don't feel as loved on because now we're not focusing so much on the marketing, we're just focusing on the sales and just the money and the money and the money. But it's not all about money. And if in those times you can weather it, and obviously this does require good financial planning and knowing your different departments and not just running your business off of feeling and intuition. You do need some sort of structure supporting you. When you have those moments, take it as an opportunity to reflect, an opportunity to look at what other areas you could be pouring into. What other areas could you be deepening? Could you be enhancing for your community, for your customers, for your potential customers, for people who are just following you? Pour into those areas. Add value to those areas. Realize your value in those areas, and I will guarantee you that money comes. Because money follows value. And value is useless when it's just kept up here in your head. When you know your value, that helps nobody. Value kept in your head helps nobody. Value needs to be realized for people to want to pay you, for money to flow to you, because it's an exchange. You need to realize, to make real, the value that you bring to the world, for the world to respond and to give back to you. I can promise you in the quote-unquote down times, instead of focusing on how can I make money, because that can go down so many paths. You'll start looking at jobs. You'll start looking at these other whack things. Maybe I can sell feet pics online. But when we look at a business, a financial department, yes, it experiences ups and downs. Just like in the customer experience department, right? There's going to be, sometimes you'll have really unhappy customers, maybe. But we need to pour into the other areas and to keep realizing the value in those other areas for their money to be unblocked. Because then we're not making it all about money. We're taking our energy off of how money is negative, but then we start to appreciate that money has allowed me to have these really cool clients, has allowed me to live this life. And we start to have an appreciation for money. And then all of a sudden, our energy around money, our feelings, our beliefs, and just how we behavior around money is different. We appreciate it more. We realize the value of the money. It signifies something deeper than just a number on a screen that you stare at and panic at occasionally. It is so much deeper, and once you realize that it's connected to value and you can make money by realizing value, it changes the game. Truly changes the game. And I can tell you right now, if you focus on giving value, realizing value, pouring into these other areas in a quote-unquote income dip, you're going to come back up. For every high you experience, there has to be a low. There's never just up, right? There's never just up. And sometimes I think like it takes turns. Sometimes the down isn't because of money. Sometimes it could be a personal thing, right? But how we handle everything comes back to you realizing your power lies in you. Yeah? Like, you either have a whole bunch of excuses, or you have all of the things that you realize that you can do to become more valuable and start doing, so that people in your audience going, ooh, I feel that from her. Something feels different. Something is just unexplainable, inexplainable. I don't know how to say that. Like, something is just different and I want to be in her space. That's when you become magnetic and attractive. Instead of chasing money, you obsess over being more valuable, being more selfless, and giving. Because money, you needing money is selfish. You needing money is all about you. But your business is not about you, right? Your life, through you, gets to be better because you serve and help more people in the world.